Hey guys, how's it going? I am WWE Hall of Famer Lita, welcoming you to General Admission Wrestling.
Last Friday, we learned what Bandito is really made of. Conor McGregor and Bobby Lashley did everything they could to beat him before they ever stepped into the ring, but they learned at Afterparty the long heritage of our tradition can't be intimidated. This is the entire reason we started LAX, to bring championships back to where they belong. It sounds cliche, but it's never been more true. This is just the first of many. These two men are the reason I'm here right now. To succeed here, you need to work hard, never stop improving, and you need a group around you. I found mine, and they helped me become champion. No one is taking anything away from what Bobby Lashley did, but know that it's time now to renew our championship legacy. Well, that's one way to open Friday Night Storm. Welcome in, folks, and congratulations once again to Bandito and LAX. I gotta show you these photos, though. Of course, the main event of GAW Afterparty was Aleister Black versus Walter. No disqualification. It was, bar none, the most brutal match I have seen in general admission wrestling in years, if not ever, in the company. Take a look at some of the aftermath photos on both men. Look at the toll that this match took on them. So I don't think I need to tell you that both of these men will be out of action for at least a few weeks following an unreal match. I mean, Aleister Black was put through a flaming table, for God's sake. What do you think that does to a man? As hard a worker as Aleister Black is, I think that it's safe to say we won't be seeing him as he heals up for the time being. I would expect a few weeks. So that opens the door for some new names to get themselves involved and put themselves really in the spotlight. And Pentagon hopes that it is him. We just saw Penta go up and beat Pac this past Wednesday on Dark in Atlanta. It was a great show, and the Pentagon Pac match was about as good as you're thinking that it was. So by doing that, Penta earned himself a match here on Storm. And we take that very seriously. If guys are winning, then they will get themselves an opportunity to showcase it here. And same goes for Storm Chaser as well. Today, Pentagon's opponent will be another man who picked up a big-time win on Dark. In fact, it was a win after he was coming off of a little bit of an injury. I'm sure you can guess who I'm talking about, a man who ran afoul of Walter in the lead-up to Afterparty. It is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, grabbed a win on Dark. And now you're telling me we're going to get Cody Rhodes versus Pentagon? Yes, please. So Cody, as I say, coming off that win on Dark, where he did beat Will Ospreay, which was quite a surprise to me. Ospreay trying to make his return from injury as well. And Cody Rhodes stepped in there and was able to get the win, and he was able to withstand a lot of Ospreay's more athletic attacks, which is good news for Cody coming into this match, because obviously Penta is a terrific athlete himself, coming from that lucha tradition. And we saw that earlier on with the Latin American exchange. But Cody Rhodes has proven that he is able to deal with a much more athletic style. Let's see how he fares today. Who knows where this match could lead, but I'll tell you what, Bandito probably looking for a new opponent for himself, and Cody Rhodes starts things off. Straight jacket DDT from the American Nightmare. I'm curious to see how Cody approaches this match against Ospreay. Cody wanted to go for a lot of volume in his offense, wanted to break down the aerial assassin and make sure that Ospreay couldn't get running. I think Cody felt like if he allowed Ospreay to run, then it would be curtains. So Cody never allowed him to do it. Two different figure four submissions that almost made Ospreay tap out certainly helped as well. So I assume that will be Cody's strategy once again today, going up against half of the Lucha Brothers, former tag team champions. Pentagon now rolls through, releases, and a kick right to the jaw. This is exactly what Cody is going to need to prevent in this match. Pentagon running wild, and Cody sends him head first into that barricade. Now up onto the shoulders he goes, and Cody with the Alabama slam. That's one way to neutralize an athletic threat. Cover here. Penta kicks out. It'll be interesting to see where both of these men decide to go after this match, specifically the winner. Again, with Aleister Black presumably being out for a couple weeks to heal up, we need ourselves a new contender for the world title when Aleister Black does get back. Bandito will need a new challenger. I think the door is open. Hell, the Usos need new challengers. Cody Rhodes, look at this, reverse suplex from Rhodes. That's a dangerous situation. That's the same position that he can hit the crossroads. And now, look at this. Rhodes with a bow and arrow stretch on Pentagon. I haven't seen Cody Rhodes use this before. I think that just shows you Penta flips over, crossbody cover, and Rhodes was able to easily kick out. But I think it just shows you how versatile Cody is in the ring. It shows you how much he studies and how much time he puts into himself when it comes to training. Cody is the perfect example of someone who is right there. Oh, what a shot. Right-handed now. Cody, crossroads. Cody puts in a lot of time. It's just about figuring himself out mentally, and he maybe has just done that. Crossroads wins the match. Cody looking really good coming back from this injury. Now, he suffered it at the hands of Walter, bruised ribs, and as I hear it, severely bruised ribs, and yet here he is back and not even wearing tape. He still wears that weight belt to kind of help him support himself, but no athletic tape or anything. He is just going into these matches. Everyone knows what that injury was. Everyone watched Walter push him off that stretcher, and yet here he is, and here he is doing great things. So with the world champion out of action for a little while, Cody is certainly in the conversation to elevate his stock right now. In the main event coming up, we have two guys looking to elevate their stock and one looking for revenge. Damian Martinez will take on Drew McIntyre after McIntyre hit Martinez with a Claymore a few weeks ago, and Martinez's match with Jay White. Martinez will finally get his revenge. And backstage, Ronda Rousey came up short in her challenge to Dakota Kai's World Championship in a tables match. Rousey not too happy. Dakota Kai made the decision to bring me back into the fold, and now she gets exactly what she asked for. I don't want anything to do with that tables match. I never did. That kind of bullshit is not why I became a professional wrestler. So if Dakota Kai wants to play games, she's welcome to. Now, I'm done feeling sorry for myself, and I'm done trying to work my way up. If Kai wants this problem, she's got one. I think Dakota Kai has herself a problem. Ronda Rousey didn't want any part of that match, but now that Kai has made it personal, I think she might want to rethink some of her decisions now if Ronda Rousey is going to come after her. Speaking of making things personal, Rosita and Hernandez have really developed this personal connection that has helped Rosita improve well beyond what she was able to do going back to season 1. In season 1, she was just struggling to keep her head above water, as it were. Now suddenly we see Rosita performing at a much higher level. Last week on Dark, that 10 days ago, Rosita was able to beat Kairi Sane. And that represents a big win because, of course, Kairi Sane was fighting for #1 contendership to the U.S. title just a couple weeks previous. So for Rosita, she has been able to raise her level, and it means that when you look at her season 1, she went 2-4 in the entire season. Well, in the same number of matches now in season 3, or season 2 rather, she is 3-3, and those 6 matches happen in about a third of the time. So I think, one, that's due to the Latin American exchange being more to the forefront of people's minds. Rosita's getting some more matches, but also the help of Hernandez has turned Rosita into a much better wrestler. Talk about someone who has not really been able to figure it out. Former U.S. champion Tegan Knox. She won the belt with the help of Dakota Kai in a shocking moment. And then really her biggest contribution to GAW ever since then was attacking the former women's world champion Asuka before her match at Nitro 10 with Dakota Kai. And by the way, that was after Asuka had already been in a match with Caitlin Dunlap. So Tegan Knox now is in a very, very odd position because she came into this year as a champion. She only picked up her first win of the season this past Wednesday, beating Marina Shafir. Her first win of the season, and she was the champion to begin things. Not exactly the position that you'd want to be in. And we talked about it during that match. Tegan Knox's problem has been one of inconsistency and uncertainty. We'll see if that continues. If there's one thing that you can't call Rosita, it's uncertain. Rosita knows exactly what she's doing, and it goes for a powerbomb. Tegan Knox rolls through, sunset flip, and now Knox looking to steal this match really early here. Rosita kicks out. If anything, Rosita knows what she's doing a little too much. She's drawn some criticism for the way she and Hernandez approach winning matches. It's interesting that that hasn't really come up between her and Hernandez and Mysterio and Bandito. They approach matches very, very differently. Obviously, it's worked for Rey and Bandito, considering that Bandito is your new Intercontinental Champion. Rosita off the facebreaker, first cover of the match for her, and Knox kicks out. Well, Rosita does boast a win over the current U.S. champion, Bianca Belair, and now Rosita moonsault. That's one thing that Hernandez has really helped her with. Hernandez has told her to lean into that athleticism. He said, look, you are one of the most talented athletes in general admission wrestling, so you might as well use it. And that's exactly what Rosita's done. Tegan Knox looking for a clothesline, and Rosita turns it into a stun gun. Again, the quickness of Rosita on full display. And now Rosita, look at the height she got there. Leg drop, guillotine over the bottom rope, and now Rosita, look at the height. Missile drop kick. Unbelievable. That's exactly what Hernandez wants to see from his young charge. And if Rosita's performing like this, maybe Rosita can get herself a title match here pretty soon. Meteora, and now Rosita single leg camel clutch applied. We don't often see Rosita go the submission route. In Mexico, they call it the Aveo style. That is not something that Rosita or Hernandez or Mysterio or Bandito are well versed in. Maybe it's something they're trying to add to their game. Off the ropes comes Knox, and Rosita looking for the exchange, and Knox puts her down with the kick. And Hernandez immediately realizes he's got to get himself involved. That has proven dangerous before to Rosita. Up onto the shoulders goes Knox. Rosita, look at this. German suplex with a bridge. Knox in real trouble, and Knox kicked out. Wow, phenomenal work from Rosita, and there you go. That's just the chemistry improving between Rosita and Hernandez. Hernandez knew exactly what he needed to do, when he needed to step in, and Rosita knew exactly how to take advantage of it. And now Rosita, what a super kick. Finds its mark. Hernandez loves it. Tegan Knox forced to fight off of her back. And Rosita does the smart thing and rolls underneath the bottom rope. Tegan Knox has barely had any opportunities in this match. Rosita fires back with that one. And now Rosita gets back to it, looking for another power bomb maybe. No, street cutter. Tegan Knox had an early opportunity to win the match after an attempted powerbomb by Rosita. It just shows you how much damage has been done, but Tegan Knox, shiniest wizard. Knox had it, and Hernandez immediately stops the count from happening. Just more evidence of how crucial Hernandez has been to Rosita's improvement and how well these two have gelled together. Tegan Knox surely had this match won with the shiniest wizard, but Hernandez knew exactly what to do. And that was the first time that Rosita looked at all vulnerable in this match. Now suddenly Rosita could be on top here. Irish whip, Tegan Knox off the ropes. Rosita comes up, exchange. That's how quickly it can end. The torque placed on the back of Tegan Knox. Rosita's got the leg hook, no breaking up the pin this time. Rosita has beaten the former US champion. That is just pure evidence that Rosita and Hernandez as a pair have become very dangerous very quickly. Hernandez, I believe on 2 occasions, saved Rosita during this match. Here's the first exchange attempt. Tegan Knox had it very well scouted. Hernandez stopped that, and that was the aftermath. The bridging German suplex. Tegan Knox forced to kick out of that. Here is the shiniest wizard. And the referee was prevented from making a count by Hernandez. So Rosita now, the wins are piling up for her. Now won over the former US champion. Backstage, Conor McGregor, leader of the Mob, and business manager of the former Intercontinental Champion Bobby Lashley. He has a response to LAX from earlier on. Of course I saw LAX from earlier. Absolutely pathetic swine that they are. They've actually given us a blessing. That's what they don't know. See, Bobby Lashley's goal is to make history. One day, he'll defend the Intercontinental title more times than anyone else. But right now, our goal is a different kind of history. Becoming the most decorated Intercontinental champion in history. When Bobby Lashley beats the life out of Bandito and takes his title back, it will be his 4th Intercontinental Championship, the most all time. So we'll get to beat Bandito into red, green, and white smoke and overtake that fat Austrian all in one night. Thanks for doing that for us, Bandito. We'll be seeing you soon. Well, I mentioned earlier that Bandito needs an opponent for his Intercontinental Championship. It looks like Bobby Lashley is going to toss his hat back in that ring. I'd be down to see a rematch as long as Lashley earns it. The first match between them, I thought, was tremendous stuff, so I would be down to see them run that back. Drew McIntyre, though, he also will want to get in on that. He is one of the men whose name has become synonymous with the Intercontinental Championship in the last several years. Bobby Lashley is now tied with Walter with 3 Intercontinental title reigns. Drew McIntyre comes in just behind them. McIntyre has 2 reigns to his name. And I should say, let me correct myself. He has 1 reign and 1 incredible title match that he didn't win, but his 1 reign was absolutely incredible. McIntyre, a 322-day reign where he made 10 successful defenses of the title in 2019. So McIntyre's name has been there as well. Damian Martinez's entrance music is probably my favorite track right now, at least of all the wrestlers on Friday Night Storm. And if you have your favorites, or if you just like the music that you hear in General Admission Wrestling, we have a Spotify playlist that you can go check out. It is music from all across GAW, entrance themes for wrestlers from Storm and the Academy, some of our special event themes, as well as some special songs that we have used over the past, how long have I been doing this now? We've been on YouTube for about a year and a half now, I believe, if my math is correct. So you can find all of that on our special Spotify playlist. Link is in the description and on our website. The reason I like Damian Martinez's music is because it matches how intimidating this man is. Look at how he moves for a man this size, and this is a match I've been looking forward to since it was announced back at Afterparty. My goodness. The sheer size and athleticism of these two men. This is what I've been waiting to see. I mentioned on our website you can find the link to our Spotify playlist. You can also find all kinds of other stuff. You can find full recaps of every show as they happen, so you never have to miss a minute. You can find full histories of all of our championships dating all the way back to 2005, so you can see details about Drew McIntyre's 322-day Intercontinental Championship reign. You can see details about AJ Styles, who was the first Intercontinental Champion. You can find all that and more on our website, generaladmissionwrestling.com. The link to that is also in the description. Oh, Damian Martinez, side slam on the outside. I expect this to be a striker's paradise. These two men are heavy, heavy hitters. And not in the boxing sense. I mean in like the underground brawling sense. The kind of bowling shoe ugly fighting sense. That's what these two guys do. Martinez, oh my God. Backdrop suplex on the outside. That's the second time that McIntyre has gone spine first into the hard outside. Martinez unleashes with the right, and now a knife edge chop stuns McIntyre. Martinez goes with the left. Back elbow to follow up, and now Martinez going to send McIntyre back into the ring. Martinez definitely got the better of the Scotsman on the outside, and now Martinez looking for a big boot. McIntyre out of the way. He did real well to see that one coming, and now McIntyre up onto the shoulders goes Martinez, gutbuster. I think it's interesting that Martinez is still wearing his jacket. That's a little reference to Jay White, Drew McIntyre's partner. McIntyre out of the corner. McIntyre looking for the Claymore, and Martinez out of the way. Well scouted that by Damian Martinez. Now he catches that strike, answers with the right. Martinez now got Drew McIntyre up, looking for the south of heaven. McIntyre turns it into a flatliner. How beautiful was that? Now Martinez to his feet. McIntyre doesn't have a lot of room. Claymore. He didn't have a lot of room to do that. Usually it takes a longer start, and Martinez kicked out. I think McIntyre may have made a little bit of a mistake. He did not get the faster start that he needed. He was able to only take one step, and now McIntyre up to his feet. He comes running in looking for the Glasgow Kiss. Martinez now trying to make the same attack. Oh, Martinez caught McIntyre once again. Look at the size of these men. That is what is stunning to me right now. McIntyre off the top turnbuckle with a German. I don't think Damian Martinez is very used to being German like that. Cover from McIntyre and a kick out. That is not something you will see very often when you're talking about a man fighting Damian Martinez. Drew McIntyre may be one of the few who can actually do that. Up to his feet comes Martinez. McIntyre maybe looking for a scoop slam, and Martinez with a big boot lays him out. The big boot connects right in the center of the forehead. Cover from Martinez, and Damian Martinez caught McIntyre running in. McIntyre may have been looking for a Claymore, but Damian Martinez with a big boot. And from a man that size, There's the flatliner off of the South of Heaven attempt. Here's another look at that Claymore, and again, McIntyre gets only one step, not able to put the amount of power that he needs to behind that kick. And so Martinez able to kick out right before the stroke of 3. The snap German suplex, another look from McIntyre, but again, Martinez is up to the task, and now Martinez, big boot. McIntyre, you can see, trying to make a couple steps, but Martinez flattens him with his size 16 boot. I don't know if that's actually accurate, it just looks like it. And Damian Martinez has sent a message to Jay White. I noticed that the Switchblade is not out here right now, and undoubtedly, that is who Martinez wants. Folks, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Friday Night Storm. We got so much to bring to you in the coming weeks and months, including America the Beautiful 2, starting almost 1 month from today, July 5th rather. That is all coming up on Storm Chaser, coming up on Monday. So make sure you subscribe so you never miss a moment of General Admission Wrestling. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.